guys, it's Mike from Washington, D.C. I'm on my way home tonight. It's been 7 straight weeks we've been in session, so I'm anxious to get back home, spending the next 2 weeks back in the district, get to celebrate our nation's 247th birthday with the 4th of July activities coming on. So very excited for that. This week we actually had a very productive week. We got through the appropriation markups for half of our spending bills. As you know, I sit on the Appropriations Committee, and I was able to get a historic pay raise for our junior enlisted military service members passed through the Appropriations Committee. This is going to go on to be signed into law hopefully before the end of the year. I think even the President will support this. The Senate should as well. But this gives us a historic 35% pay raise for our really junior enlisted personnel in the military. These are the E1s through E5s they used to be making $22,000 a year. We're going to get their base pay now up to $31,200 a year. So this is a massive increase. We need to do more than that moving forward with other benefits and other pay packages. But I was proud to personally write this, to personally lead this through the appropriations process. We're going to make sure we get it done as we get through these bills on the floor. We also got the Water Act for California included into the appropriations package. What this does is it allows us to actually spend money to increase infrastructure and capacity and storage. As you know, especially this last year, it's not that we don't get enough water all the time, it's that we don't store that water, and so that when we get into a dry period, we don't have the reserves to tap into. So the California Water Act actually will allow us to build that storage and that infrastructure, the capacity, so that we can survive the longer drought periods. And again, we'll continue to push that. Something very exciting this week. As you know, we have an art competition. If you look down the hall, you can see all of these lovely pieces of art that are on the walls and the tunnels. As we go to votes, we see them every day. But the 27th Congressional District was proud to have Emily Kai submit the winning piece this year. This is a beautiful, very intricate, very detailed drawing of I think it's a young Marine doing his thing with the flag in the background, dog tag. So Emily and her mom Vicky were here giving him a tour, and they had a big reception celebrating her accomplishment as well as the other art winners. So very cool. And if you're in town, we'll come show you her beautiful piece of art. On the floor, we passed the Middle Class Borrower Protection Act. And what this does is it undoes this actually very silly and frankly socialist policy that the Biden administration put in place that basically penalizes people that have higher credit scores, makes them have to pay more fees for their mortgages to offset and sort of compensate those that don't have good credit scores. This is literally a definition of what socialist economic behavior patterns look like. And so this bill that we passed, the Middle Class Borrower Protection Act, undoes that. It passed the House. We are hoping to hopefully get Senate support as well, and hopefully the President reconsiders this. This doesn't incentivize people to buy homes. It penalizes those who have been very responsible with their spending and their credit, and makes it tougher for them to afford homes, and that actually aggravates the housing market. We also put a resolution forward that condemns the use of elementary schools and secondary schools as facilities to provide shelter to illegal immigrants. As you know, in the last couple of years, we've got 2 million human beings come across our southern border illegally. Some of them are in facilities being detained. Many of them are not. Most of them are not. But there's some states that have decided to use schools as a place to store and house these illegal immigrants. Very dangerous. We don't know who they are necessarily, but the schools should be used for education for our children, not to offset and subsidize bad national security policies coming out of the White House. So this resolution prevents the schools from being used as such, so proud to support that one as well. The other thing that we did that was in the news, lots of drama this week around censuring Adam Schiff, who's a representative from Southern California. It's not something that I took lightly. I wasn't happy to do this, but it was necessary, and this is something that hasn't been done a lot. This is the formal censuring of a member of Congress. He will also be now referred to the Ethics Committee to further investigate what he has done in the past. But I want to remind people that he wasn't just a member of Congress when he was lying to the American people about the investigations. This wasn't about then candidate Trump or President Trump being investigated by the FBI or the DOJ. This is about a member of Congress who is also the chair of the Intelligence Committee, which is a committee that I serve on that is very nonpartisan. It's frankly one of the crown jewels of national security. when it comes from the halls of Congress, and to turn that position of power and authority and accountability into a political tool to feed fake information and information that did not exist, to substantiate an investigation and warrants that were also unconstitutionally executed against a political opponent is wrong. And his actions not only were wrong and untruthful, but also cost American taxpayers about $32 million in the form of the investigations that subsequently took place as a result of his actions. So again, not happy to do it, but he earned it, he deserved it, and I think this is something that we've got to hold members of Congress accountable for. So as always, we're here to serve you, the constituents. We want to make sure if you're having issues with the IRS, Social Security, the VA, please reach out to our office. We'll shave off a lot of time off of those engagements with the federal agencies. We had a constituent reach out to our office regarding an incorrect 10% lifetime penalty that he was facing for some Medicare coverage issues that he had, Social Security. And we were able to get that undone. Imagine 10% of these penalties for a lifetime is a lot of money, and we were able to get that taken care of for him. So please reach out if you have any issues. Lots of questions and challenges right now with passports. We're happy to help with those. And as always, go to the website mikegarcia.house.gov and subscribe to the newsletter, where we put a lot of detail into the legislation that we've passed and a lot of legislation that we're working on going forward, as well as engagements in the district. So coming home for 2 weeks, looking forward to visiting constituents, small businesses. We're hosting a massive defense forum next Wednesday at Plant 42. I've got the Secretary of the Air Force coming in, the chairman of the Defense Subcommittee, and several leaders from the Pentagon, and about 75 to 100 companies from around the country coming to Plant 42 to talk about how we can go faster with our industrial complexes and get weapons to the warfighters quicker. So that's going to be a huge showcase for the Antelope Valley and for our district, for bringing more business, more programs, and faster moving programs to the district. So we're very excited about that, and we'll be around visiting other businesses for the next 2 weeks. So take care, guys. We'll talk to you next week, and super proud of the fact that we were able to get this massive pay raise to our junior enlisted this week. God bless.